Welcome to another episode of the Relevant Recruiter Show. I've got the very first guest of the Relevant Recruiter Show joining me again today, my friend Renee Frey. Renee owns Talent Q, a boutique recruiting firm focused in the supply chain industry. She also owns Career Corner, a personalized coaching and resume writing service, and also runs her own podcast called Careers and Cocktails. Renee, thank you for joining me today again.
What's up, Donnie? I can't believe I was your first guest.
Numero uno, yes. And I think right after that, you were doing Careers and Cocktails, and I was able to join you there. So
yeah,
thank you, and happy Friday. Happy
Friday. We made it.
We are here. What is going on in Wisconsin?
It's been pretty rainy, but it's warm. We're going to have a beautiful day tomorrow. And I've been super blessed that I've been managing my workload, so I do not work on the weekends, and I can spend all my time with my kiddos. And Aubrey has a swim meet at the U of M, so it'll be exciting to watch her compete.
Very cool. And kids are doing good? Everybody getting through COVID okay?
They're loving life. Well, we're in Wisconsin. Our kids have been in school all year. I am so grateful for that.
Yep.
It worked. None of us got it. Me and my husband are fully vaccinated. I'm just waiting for the vaccine for my 9 and 11-year-olds to come out.
Awesome. So let's talk about your story again. I know we covered this a little bit on the first show, but just give us a brief overview. How did you get in the recruiting industry? How did we start Talent Q?
Yeah. So I actually, out of college, I went into insurance sales, and then I had an opportunity where they closed all the locations and I was put in my home office, and I had a company car. Sounds super sexy, right? But when you're selling insurance door to door and then calling out of the phone book, I was miserable. So I asked my sister, I'm like, hey, I need to find a new sales job. I hate this being at home business. And so she referred me to a recruiter that worked at Spherion downtown Minneapolis. And I went and interviewed with her to have her try to help me find another sales job. And she's like, well, what's your dream job? And I said, I would love to be a recruiter. I'm like, what could be more rewarding than helping people get pay raises and promotions and navigate and present great opportunities to them? So then she interviewed me there. I went through all these interviews, and that's where I got my start. And I started doing temp to hire in accounting and finance. And then I kind of weaved my way to a couple different firms, started leading a team of direct hire recruiters. And then I decided, because I have a super fire entrepreneurial spirit, I wanted to own my own business, but I knew there's dime a dozen recruiting firms, right? There's millions of us. And I had to figure out what would give me the edge. So I decided strategically to go work for a super large corporation. You may have heard of it, Target Corporation. I went there, cut my teeth in technology recruiting for the first time. So they had taken a chance on me. And there the world opened up. I mean, I was there for 7 years. I was on what was called the SWAT team. And so we would go into the most difficult to fill positions, where sometimes there was a recruiter that I had to also train and mentor while I was filling the positions quickly. But it was awesome. I saw the entire org, all 14 different departments in the headquarters. I also recruited for distribution leadership positions and stores leadership positions. So I saw that whole company 360. And then I was fortunate enough, they went through a mass layoff, and I was fortunate enough to be on that list. I think I was the only person smiling in that room. Left with a wad of cash. I already had my business plan in place for 2 years. And we got our first job order, I think, second day in business. So I was prepared and ready to go.
That's awesome. So you actually got laid off and then started Talent Q and already had that plan kind of ready to go.
Yep. I was hoping that I was going to be on that list because, we sat on the HR floor, Donnie. So we saw all the private meetings. When you put paper on the windows so people can't see in, we're not stupid. We know there's something shady going on,
Right. So you made the cut list that you actually wanted to make this time.
Yeah. And I felt bad. There's people, so many tears and emotions. And I was sitting there going, this was the best thing to ever happen to me, because Dustin, my husband, wanted me to wait until that September to start my business. And because our oldest daughter would have been going to kindergarten, he's like, can you just wait until September? Because then he would feel more at ease. And this happened in March, and I was like, off we go.
Shot into entrepreneurship. So what was the kind of the biggest challenge? What was the biggest shock for you kind of going from being in that corporate environment to now you're the whole show?
Yeah, though I wouldn't say there was a shock because I'm so passionate about recruiting. Like that's what gets me out of bed in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning though was doing everything myself, right?
Right.
And being responsible for the billing and being responsible for the contracts. I mean, I did have outside support. I do have legal. And like getting the right support I needed, like the CPA, the insurance, that type of stuff when you're haven't ran a business before. It's things you don't think about, like the
Right.
operational components. And then the only other thing that kind of frustrated me was I think my mom used to live with us and watch our kids while we were working. And I swear to God, her and Dustin would like bother me and think like they thought I was sitting down in the basement eating bonbons. And I'm like, I'm running a successful business. Like, you can't contact me.
Right.
So like putting up those barriers because I was the real deal.
Right. Right. Yeah. Just because I'm working from here doesn't mean you can come. This isn't an open door policy here.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Where's Talent Q? Like, how long ago did you actually officially start that? What year was that?
2015. So I'm on year 7.
Year 6.
2015.
Right. Yep. 7.
Yep.
Yeah. Very cool. So I know that, going through COVID, we talked a little bit before, your company was obviously greatly affected by,
Oh my God.
everything that happened there, job orders going away. Give a little bit of background on that, if you will.
Yeah. So in March, 95% of my business went out the window, and we were busy. Like we had a pretty significant rec load. And we were left with one executive search that we would fulfill, which was great. But then since I payroll myself, I payroll my team. I was able to take advantage of the PPP both rounds because of the significant loss that we had. But I mean, I tore through my cash, but I just kept going. Like I knew it would bounce back.
Right.
And I pivoted to, we created Career Corner digital courses for people on how to write their resumes, how to interview, how to negotiate for jobs, that type of thing, which helped. And then, because in the past I'd been doing coaching and resume writing, and at Talent Q, I want to be the most comprehensive career help people, right? Like I want to help companies find their future employees while helping people navigate through their careers and helping them get pay raises and promotions as well. But my time is limited, so I can't do that on a free basis. There's so many people beating down my door all the time saying, oh, I need help with this, or what's your advice on this or that? So I designed career coaching around specific to the individual. And then they have to pay me for my time because my time is extremely valuable.
Right.
And it's just been incredible. Like the people that I help, Donnie, I would say 99% of the people shed tears. So we do video, Zoom, and we record it so they can refer back to it. But 99% of the people are so emotional because they're so stuck. And it's so rewarding to help them get unstuck.
Yeah, that's amazing. And especially probably going through the last couple of months with so many people out of work, trying to help them get, refired back up. And definitely want to dig deeper on this because I know there's a lot of recruiters out there that, are doing just recruiting or executive search or staffing, whatever you want to call it, and don't have an additional revenue stream like you've been able to generate from, your career coaching business. I mean, obviously that didn't float probably all your revenue needed to survive there, but I mean, I know that that's probably a huge thing for you to be able to have a little bit of additional income coming in that's not relying upon you making placements.
Oh, exactly. And when we haven't started advertising our courses, but that's our next step because we've got everything in place, but that's the one thing that we need to do. And I think it'll just explode because then they'll be able to find my courses on their own versus, reaching out to people and directing them there. But yeah, it's been incredible to have additional income coming in.
Yep.
Using my strengths. I mean,
Yeah.
it's so great to help people with their careers. And it's so funny. Like, I worked at Target Corporation. I worked at a huge Fortune 500 company, Fortune 30 maybe company. And I've experienced political stuff. I've experienced shit myself where, I didn't get a promotion I wanted. I negotiated a raise. It took me 1 year to negotiate a raise. I did all of that on my own. And I understand the complexities of the relationships involved, the politics involved, and to help people get through that and see there is more beyond there. Because one thing about Target is the culture, and I love Target. My experience there was tremendous. But the culture when I was there was so focused on internal networking that the recruiter wasn't staying on top of her external network. It was like they put these blinders on you, and you talk to tons of people that have worked at Target and they're like, I was like, it's like a magic spell or something. They put some potion and you just become narrowly focused on what's going on at Target. And job seekers cannot do that at any time. You gotta always have an external network available because, 70% of the jobs are never posted.
Right. Now, I know that one of the things that, you mentioned that you now have digital courses that you were able to roll out this year on the career coaching side. But if somebody was like looking to just start and maybe bring an additional revenue stream for their recruiting business and doing something like this, what would you recommend? What's the easiest way to kind of start to add something?
Yeah, I would actually just think about what products you want to offer, what services you want to offer, what you want to charge for that. You have to figure out what your time is worth for an hour. I do career coaching on an hourly basis. Sometimes I'll do it on a 30-minute basis. I mean, I even offer mock interviewing where people can mock interview with me. But you've got to look at what services you want to provide. Like we do resume writing, LinkedIn optimization. We throw in cover letters. I'm thinking of the things that I specifically do, but my courses, obviously, it's a more robust library of options.
Right.
But I would say, think about how you can help that job seeker, what you want to charge for it. And then you got to figure out your methodology. Like we have a questionnaire that they have to fill out. We come to action items on the call that the job seeker has determined, and they decide the date. And then I hold them accountable to that.
Right. Now, what do you think about, and I know this is kind of a very loaded question here, but I know you gave my friend Ken some advice a while back about, what to charge and things like that.
Oh, yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't charging anything. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, listen. And then he ran with it.
Yeah, no, he's built the same thing that you've got going on. He's totally run with it. And done that. But I think a lot of people kind of get into this balance, right? Because we sometimes think, well, I want to help people, especially on the candidate side. Well, maybe I should do this for free. What would you say for somebody's like, oh yeah, well, I mean, of course you're as a recruiter, you're going to help prep your candidate, but like when you're actually helping somebody advance their career and somebody says, well, you should do that for free. Like, what's your pushback on that?
Nothing's free. My time is not free.
Right.
My time is my most valuable resource, and I'm not running a business for free. My time is worth something, and that's what I'm going to charge for. So, there is that balance. And for example, you'll have two different types of audiences there. So for example, I had a candidate recently whose resume was okay, but I don't have time to help people's resume. We submitted them for the position because we did a thorough behavioral based interview. And the manager was turned off by his resume. And so I went back to him and said that, and he's like, hey, I know you help write resumes. It's like, how much does that cost? He goes, because if that's my obstacle, then I need your help. And I was like, yeah, I agree. You know what I mean? So There's that kind of balance. The good news is though, if you like, I can send my video interview prep course to my candidates. So then I'm out of that prep. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But there's two different audiences there. Job seekers, and then obviously the ones that you're working with. And I always let people know that we are hired by the companies. The companies are who's paying me at the end of the day.
Right.
So I'm only looking for people that my clients need. But yet they come to us thinking, oh, if you see my resume, you can help me get a job. No.
Right.
I'll put you in my database. I'll document what kind of ideal you're looking for, and maybe something will come across my desk. But at the end of the day, what Talent Q is focused on in placements are the companies that are paying us to find them the people for the very specific functions.
Yeah. Now, how do you mentioned earlier, just when you started your own business, you're the CPA, you're the accountant, you're the sorcerer, you're the business development person. Now you're the career coach. I know Megan's, kicking ass for you, behind the scenes, but how do you manage your time? How do you get all of this done and deliver the impact? Because I know that's, you already mentioned it. You love to impact your clients, your candidates. I mean, how do you do this and also be a mom and a wife and everything else?
Yeah. Time management. I calendar every second of my damn day. Like everything is calendared. So like you reached out and sent me, you were so great with the video messages. And I'm like, talk to Megan. And you were like, okay, you're a big deal now. I was like, no, this is how I manage my time.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't get pulled. I can't go purple squirrel. I can't get pulled in a different direction. What is on my calendar, I have to fulfill. And that's how I build up my entire week. And I always look the day before. So like right around 4:00, so I'm in Central Time, but right around 4:00, I'm looking to the next day to see if there's anything I need to adjust in my calendar or shift from what happened today, or can I just flow? Because my week is already built out for me.
Right.
Like everything, I've got dedicated time for meeting with job seekers and coaching. I've got dedicated time for writing resumes. I've dedicated time for sourcing, all of that stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge opportunity for a lot of people in general, a lot of people in this industry, is I think that people think they hide behind this excuse of, oh, I don't have time to do this, that, and the other. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity to really just own your calendar. Just like you said, so many people just get up, they wake up the day and then they react to whatever's coming rather than like, hey, I'm scheduling this. And one of the things that I see, and I'd love for you to kind of give some feedback on this, is when we calendar stuff like that's for ourselves or for things that are like project work for our business, and then a candidate pops up and a client pops up, the number one excuse that I get from people is like, oh, well, something came up and so I had to push this back. But we only negotiate our calendar for ourselves. We would never not show up to a podcast like this or meeting to somebody else. How do you stay disciplined to your own schedule?
I love to operate in the proactive versus reactive. I hate being in the fire drill reactive business. I hate it. My team hates it. We like to be proactive. So I am dedicated to that calendar because I learned this back in search, right?
Yep.
That I would have to know who I was calling the next day. I don't know. I can't remember how many people, probably 100 people a day I used to have to call because, they'd be tapping my phone or whatever.
Yep.
But, I had to be thoroughly prepared and plan. And what I always tell myself, Donnie, is if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Same thing with my eating. Like if I don't meal plan for the week, I'm going to go off the rails. Mm-hmm. I know what success is for me. And that's why I stick to it.
I love it. Yeah. I mean, it's, I think that you make a great point there of being proactive about your day. And, I think that some of us get in the habit of, especially in this industry, right? Because we do have to react a little bit to, hey, if my candidate only has this time available, right? My client comes and only has this time available, I'm gonna have to move some things around. But, if at least you're in control of 90% of it, then you're going to move forward faster with some of your projects.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I even I calendared to read an article that I saw. I mean, that's how detailed I get.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That's huge. Do you calendar every day? Do you kind of do you have like a weekend routine? Like for me, I go Sundays, I write my top 3 for my week and then start kind of laying out my week that way and then do it each day to catch myself up.
Yeah, my calendar is probably pushed out 2 weeks planned for. And then I always take the time the day before when I'm wrapping like around 4:00 to evaluate the next day to see if I need to shuffle anything around.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm planned out. because if I'm not planned out, I'm going to fail. And it goes back to recruiting. The greatest thing I realized was you have to take time to slow down to speed up. Doing this sounds like a pain in the ass. Like, oh, really, Renee? I'm going to sit here and take a half hour and put every little detail on my calendar, maybe color code it too. It will save you loads of time. If you can stick to it and you're focused, you are going to be 10 times more productive. If you sit down and do it, just like if you're recruiting for a job, you don't just go start recruiting for the job. You build the recruiting strategy. You take time to slow down and figure out what industries you're going to target, what companies you're going to target, what sizes, all of that first before you run.
Love it. Love it. So talk to me about Careers in Cocktails. It was, I think, 2 years ago that you joined me. I think a couple weeks later, I was on your actual podcast. How has Careers in Cocktails, how's that going for you?
It's going great. We actually we make some money, which is crazy. I think we're viewed in 42 countries. Megan would know the details, but we're global. And I just love it because we have people reach out and they're like, oh my gosh, I needed to hear that today. Or I'm so glad that I listened because of that. We're making impact, which is super fun. And it's a super fun topic. Like, I love cocktails, and that's why we made it fun. We want to make it fun. And we drink the people's favorite drink, and I make it. And I am no bartender extraordinaire. I fumble through things, but it's super fun. And we try new things. And then we get serious and we talk about real world experiences and dig deep. And a lot of things I think people are trying to learn on the other side, is like, a lot of it is mindset and hearing someone else's experience. They can relate to it. And then it helps them kind of think about how they want to move forward, or think about, like, oh, my job does really suck. And this person did it, got out of there and found their dream job. So I can do that too. You know what I mean?
Right. So it's kind of the goal. Obviously, the goal is to stir up a cocktail and have a drink. But on the other side, with the career side, it's really just kind of share stories and passion, inspiration for the actual listeners there. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Now, have you, and kind of goes in both things that are outside of Talent Q, have you been able to generate, clients through either the Career Corner or through the podcast, Careers and Cocktails? Have you been able to generate clients or candidates or anything that's kind of...
Yes. Coaching people. Yes. From both. Actual clients, like, I'm thinking, I'm not sure of like hiring leaders yet. Mm-hmm. But it's definitely helping with our branding. You know what I mean? Like their reach. That's why we really did it, was one, to push free information, and two, to just expand our brand reach in a different format, since video is super hot. And who was it? You maybe that told me to do video and audio? I think it was
you. Yep. That's awesome. Yeah. So what is because I see it on YouTube because I follow you on YouTube, but how many subscribers do you have on YouTube for that?
Oh my God. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll ask Megan offline.
I know. Well, I want to say it depends on who's on and how many views we get. I want to say 300 on average for view. I don't know. She would know. That's
cool. Very cool.
But then we're pushing it, audio. I don't know. She's got all that information.
Right. Now, one of the things I love about you, Renee, is you've always you're you, unapologetically. This is who I am. Take me or leave me. Hey, you're doing cocktails on a professional stage here. Like, why are you doing that? Like, what's your, I think that a lot of people have this thinking of, oh, I have to be serious and professional in all settings. Yet you're kind of breaking that boundary by saying, hey, we're going to talk about careers and we're going to stir up a cocktail here. I mean, what has been the response to that, or what do you have feedback on, kind of putting yourself out there unapologetically?
I haven't gotten any negative feedback. And if I did, I would listen to it. But I really think people get excited because it's lively, it lightens. Who doesn't like to drink? I mean, maybe there's some people out there that we've done, and we do mocktails, and we've had people that have tea and coffee, whatever.
Right.
But it just lightens up the mood. And it's fun. It's like, it really breaks the ice quicker, I feel, when you're having a drink with somebody, and then they're kind of just a little bit more relaxed and open to sharing more freely.
Right.
But yeah, I haven't heard anything. People, the most feedback I've gotten is, what a cool concept. Like,
Yeah.
what's she making today? I want to know. And what are they talking about? And I'll never forget, I had one of the people on, she drank her whole drink. Like, most people don't drink the whole drink, but I swear to God, I think I gave her a refill. I was like, and this is someone that I know doesn't drink very much. It was a ball. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think it's great. And I think there's definitely the place for it. But I just, just kind of, some people always think that we get into this mindset of, hey, it's business. So I always have to be professional. I always have to kind of put on this face. And, I think that there's obviously people love the show, love being on the show. I love being on your show. I thought it was, a great experience. I'm a beer guy, so I think that's what we did on mine, but,
yeah.
but,
yeah. And you know what? I don't mind what people think, because I'm here to mix it up, literally mix
right.
it up with the cocktails. And I am, like you said, what you see is what you get. This is the Renee Frey. I am 24/7. And I'm fun. And that's why it works for me, because cocktails is fun.
Yep. Now, how do you're always progressing. You're always adding something to your business. It was, we did some work together. Then you go down, the podcast route, then you take your career coaching, then you add another layer to the career coaching. We were just talking before about, getting more traction into the career coaching, which is going to be another avenue. How do you have so much, like, you're always looking for what's next? Like, what drives you towards that?
Growth. Because if you're not transforming, your business is going to fail. You're going to die. You got to constantly be pushing the edge of, what motivates me is getting people the tools that they need to succeed, whether it's looking for a new job or finding your future employees, giving them the tools they need to succeed. And that's really what drives me. And I'm constantly looking for new ways, because I am all about fresh and fun. Right. And I'm super transparent, where, I think in the past, the firms that I used to work at were really stuffy. I mean, we wore suits and we were stuffy, and that's not who I am.
Yeah.
I can put on a suit. Yeah, that's fine. There's certain audiences that require that, but I'm real. Like, I'll tell you exactly how we can get results for you and what we're going to do to get there. You know what I mean? So I don't have to put on this fluffy persona, because all people want is results.
Right. That's great feedback. What is, when you're looking at kind of your next steps in the company, I mean, what are you most fired up for right now?
Oh my God. We are going to develop. So we've struggled with finding talent for my team. We've had some people, work out for like 2 years, and then they kind of fizzle out. So what I'm creating is a recruiting leadership development program, where we're going to hire new college grads, train them over the course of 2 years. And then they would have, the full skills needed to be a full cycle recruiter. And then if they wanted to go spread their wings at a larger corporation, totally cool. Or if they want to stay, great too. And have that constant revolving, training those people, because there's so many people that want to get into recruiting, and they won't let you into recruiting unless you cut your teeth at a recruiting firm most of the time. And so I'll be that platform for them, and we'll have people distributed around the US. I'm fine with remote, but that's what we're working on right now, slowly, because I need more time, but we'll get there.
That's awesome. That is really exciting. Personal growth, we've just kind of touched on it. I mean, I know you worked with me, you've worked with a lot of coaches. I mean, who's, over the last couple of years, I mean, who's really made a big impact for you in the marketplace? I know you mentioned a coach I saw you following, pretty recently you were working with, I think it was last year.
Is that David Nagel?
May have been him. Yeah.
He puts out really great stuff. He's a huge mindset guy.
Yeah.
But I really like, one of my secrets is I read the book Science of Getting Rich once a month. And it's all about visioning and imagining what you want as if it was real, and it works. Like, it literally works. So that's one thing. But right now I'm not working with one particular person one-on-one. I have read a ton of Russell Brunson's books because I'm trying to crack the code with getting my courses, the funnel coming to us there. So I've read trafficsecrets.com, see all that stuff. But yeah, I would say those are the two most recent that would come to mind.
Perfect. And then if somebody wanted to be on,
Yeah.
the Careers and Cocktails, how would they go about getting in touch with you?
Yeah, good question. I know I have an email box, but just go to info@talentq.net.
Perfect. So
Yep.
info@talentq.net if you want to join Careers and Cocktails and stir one up with Renee there. Renee, I think it was about 4 years ago that we actually worked together now, which seems like a long time.
That's crazy. It
Yeah,
flew.
it is. It's very, very crazy. Are you still utilizing some of the things that we worked on?
Oh, absolutely. So we're redoing our entire website. We're redesigning our website, and all of the stuff we did with going deep in the client avatar, all of that stuff, we still refer to that quarterly, but it really helped with the website because we just copied and pasted, and the people doing our website were like, you guys gave us the most comprehensive information we've ever seen from a client because we
Love
are
it.
shit together.
Yep. You got that position, you got that client avatar dialed.
And what you did for us, Donnie, with that exercise was every company, I don't care if you're in recruiting or not, but you have to go through that exercise to know who your customers are, who you're targeting. Otherwise, you're not going to have a constant revenue stream. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's so critical for any business owner to go through that exercise that you made us do. And it's just been awesome. We still use some of the messaging techniques. What else? We've gone big and bold. You
guys are big and bold on content. Yeah.
Video. Now I'm doing live Facebook and LinkedIn almost every day, just pushing content just for more visibility. But yeah, you really pushed us to like accelerate on the video.
Awesome.
Like 100 times.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love watching you guys still doing it. And it's, just like you, I love the, impact and hear the stories of people still going through my program, not going through my program, but actually implementing and doing the work. And you obviously kicked its ass and took it even to another level.
Yeah. But the thing, I want to share something that might help the listeners with the videos is that I like to look nice. I was telling Megan, like, I was struggling with, I had some hesitancy on doing the lives because I didn't know how I was going to come across and what I was going to look like. And, oh, did I have my screen makeup on or whatever? And Megan's like, Renee, stop that. Like, just do it. You just got to do it. And now I've done it that I'm totally comfortable with it.
Yep. You got to just go, it's funny. I still get jitters every time I go live here. And then as soon as I click live, it all goes away. And then you just get to realize that you're just talking and having a conversation with somebody. And yeah.
Right. And the coolest thing, I've had like higher supply chain leaders, like SVPs, share my videos on LinkedIn. And other people say, this is just the message I needed to hear today. Because I was talking about imposter syndrome. And like, it's landing with people. And it's just free information to get my reach out further there.
Right. And I would imagine at this point, I know we've talked about it, but you're actually seeing inbound traffic and business coming from your presence and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so, I can't wait. And I'm just delighted for the website because that's going to be another lift, I feel, because we took the website from Wix. We're finally getting on WordPress. And I really think my website was hindering us. We didn't have the SEO on the back end and all of that to generate leads our way. So I'm really excited when that launches.
Wonderful. Well, Renee, it's been great catching up with you. For those of you who are listening, make sure to reach out at Renee on LinkedIn, Renee Frey. the info at talentq.net if you are interested in being a guest on Careers and Cocktails. Renee, leave us one last final tip for everybody listening.
One last final tip. Don't ever let fear stop you. Just take the first damn step forward.
I love it. I love it. Jump in, baby. Jump in. Awesome. Well, thank you, Relevant Recruiter Group. We will be back next Wednesday for live training, next Friday for another podcast. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you all next week. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.